13 years with the Chicago Bears, one of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game, and he did it in a Bears uniform. 9th overall pick in the 2000 draft. Brian Urlacher joined us on the phone right now. What's up, B?
Brother Mike, how you doing, man? Long time no talk.
Man, it's been a minute, man. Good to talk to you. Always great to talk to you. I want to talk to you first and foremost about a little NFL. We get into some other matters in just a second, man. But it's been, 4 years since you retired from the Bears? And, dude, the team has not been the same since. I call it the Brian Urlacher curse with the Chicago Bears. Once you were gone, they have not been the same. How much have you followed the Bears closely since you've been gone?
I'm a football fan, so I follow them pretty closely. I call it the Lovie Smith effect, actually. I think it's since Coach Smith left, it's kind of been, they've struggled since he left. Now, I don't think it's so much me because there still are some really good players there after I left. But, yeah, just haven't got the results they've wanted. I think Coach Fox will turn them around, if not this year, next couple of years. He's such a good coach. He's getting the players he wants in there. They signed some good players on defense this year in free agency. I just think it's going to take time to get the players he wants to fit his scheme in there.
What do you think is going to be the difference for Fox in his second season with the team?
I think the defense will be better.
Mm-hmm.
The last year they had the 4-3 players. The Bears have been a 4-3 forever, and when Coach Fox came in, they moved to a 3-4. So just trying to get those players in there that fit his scheme. I think he's done that more so this offseason than he had a chance to last year. And then offensively, this should be better as well. I know they're going to miss Matt Forte, but I think Kevin White coming back healthy. Obviously, if Alshon stays healthy, they're going to be pretty good as well.
Can they do it with the running back by committee situation? As you mentioned, Matt Forte is gone. He's left the team, was an integral part of that team. Do you believe a team can do it running back by committee?
I think it can be done. It's just going to be so hard to replace a player like Matt Forte. I mean, he did so much for that football team. He ran the ball great. He caught the ball. He blocked. I mean, he did everything. And more importantly, he was a great teammate. He was there for 7-8 years. And when I was with him, he's a great teammate. He busts his butt every day at practice in the weight room and sets a great example for those young guys. So I think that's the number one thing they're going to miss with him is just his leadership and being around him and seeing what kind of professional he is every day.
Talking to Brian Urlacher, former Bears linebacker, hanging out with us here on the Rich Eisen Show. You talked about Alshon Jeffrey. Kevin White missed his entire rookie season last year. Alshon Jeffrey, we know what he can do, but what are you expecting out of White this year?
That kid's unbelievable. I mean, I've watched – just watching what he's done, he's so fast. He's 6'3", 6'4", so he's a big receiver, and he can fly. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen a guy that size run that fast in a long time. So I hope he stays healthy just so I can, the plain simple fact of his entertainment value of watching him fly down the football field. Jay's got a great arm, and Jay says he can't overthrow the guy. So I've been watching a little bit of training camp coverage. So it's going to be fun to see. I expect big things from him. I think he expects big things from himself as well.
I heard you say something really nice about Jay. He's got a big arm. Hey, Jay Cutler, that's a compliment.
There's never been a doubt about how big his arm is.
That's a compliment.
That's not the issue.
Brian, that's a compliment. Hey, B, look.
Mike,
no secret,
Mike,
man.
He's talented. Hold on a second, Mike. He's got a big arm and he can throw it to the moon. That's never been the issue.
Yeah, and he's actually lost weight, so he's not as big as he used to be. But he's also got I'm not going to say anything. Look, I've made it no secret that I'm not a huge Jay Cutler fan.
Yeah.
Straight up. Straight up.
Everyone's good right now. Hey, Mike, everyone's good right now. It's preseason. They're all Super Bowl champs right now. So let's be positive.
I'm trying to be positive. All right. So you tell me straight up, honestly, keep it real with me. Can this football team win with Jay? Can they win a Super Bowl with Jay Cutler as the quarterback if he still has the same attitude that a lot of people have come to know him for?
Well, it depends. It's so many things factor into that, Mike, because if their defense plays great, you could put – it's going to be hard to put – it doesn't matter who you have a quarterback. If their defense plays unbelievable, they have a chance to win it. But do I think he can do it just based on what he can do? No. He needs help. That's what I believe.
All right. See, there you go. All right, good question. Yeah. Cubs, you've been in Chicago. Yeah. You've been in Chicago. Who does the Chicago Cubs win or get into the World Series first, or the Bears get back into the Super Bowl?
Oh, I think the Cubs get into the World Series. I think it's going to happen this year, man. Their starting pitching is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they can hit, but every night they have a pitcher who's a number 1 or a 2 on a different team. So they figured it out, and they're hitting the ball great. And they're young. It's unreal watching them every night. They go out there and they're favored in every single game.
All right, B, let's get back to football real quick. You brought up Lovie Smith, and once again, what happened with him with the Bears was bad, but what happened down in Tampa was atrocious, man. I put Tampa, in my opinion, I put them on like 2-year probation where I can't root for them because of what they did to Lovie Smith. When you heard the news of what happened to Lovie Smith, and now I know he's at Illinois as the head coach there, what was your first thought?
I was shocked, man. I'm with you. They're on probation in my book too. I'm not a fan anymore. I was a huge fan. Obviously, wherever Lovie goes, I'm going to be a fan of. But I don't know what happened there. There's conflicting stories. I've heard 3 or 4 different things, and you never know until you talk to the people who are involved. But yeah, I was pissed. I was shocked. I thought they were going to be good this year. With his defense being there for a couple of years now, that I thought they'd get better. Jameis seems like he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. So I was really surprised and mad and pissed off about it.
Overall this season, as an NFL fan, what are you most excited about?
As an NFL, ooh, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I'm a huge fan. I just like watching good defense. I like watching these defensive players. In spite of all the rules against them, Mike, they continue to make great plays. It's amazing to watch them handcuffed out there, still making great plays. I just like football, man. It's so much fun to be retired and have a chance to go out there and watch every game on Sunday or Thursday night football or Sunday night or Monday nights. It's exciting as hell.
You're like Peyton Manning. You're retired. Peyton Manning, of course, had that Al Jazeera report. Yeah, you without the commercials. We're going to get you some commercials, though, B. We're going to get into the hair in just a second because you need some commercials now. But if you're like in James Harrison's shoes, if you're in the Clay Matthews shoes right now with everything that's going on with the Al Jazeera report and a deadline to cooperate with the NFL or face suspension, what are you doing?
Well, I'm always pro-player. I always believe the player. I'm always on their side. But in this situation, I think if you have nothing to hide, then you do the interview. I think that's a simple answer. If the NFL is going to suspend you or fine you, whatever they say they're going to do, and we know the commissioner can pretty much do what he wants to. It's his decision. The ball's in his court. But if you have nothing to hide, then it shouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't think. And like I said, I'm always pro-player. But in this situation, I would say just do the interview and knock it out.
So you would have been in the commissioner's office already?
If I was not guilty?
Yeah.
Yes. Or maybe not in his office or wherever he wanted to meet. I would think he would accommodate those guys. They're all in training camp, so he would accommodate them at their request. But it's a tough situation because, it was like James said, you can fabricate anything and say something about somebody. And then what is it now? Now, if you don't talk about it, you're guilty. It's just not fair, to throw that on players like that.
Hey, fabricate seems to be the word of the day around here. You've been following this Ryan Lochte situation, man?
Talking about Ryan, yeah. I'm watching the Olympics right now. I'm watching the women's golf right now. How great is the Olympics when it's on, by the way? This is like my favorite time. They should do it every year.
What is it?
The Olympics.
Every year?
They should do it every year. I'm watching the women's golf right now. It's just everything is so fun. There's sports I never even think about watching that I watch every day.
If there is an Olympic sport, so football is not an Olympic sport, obviously, but what Olympic sport do you think you would have been best at?
So I've never watched rugby before, but I watched the women's rugby this year. And I don't want to play it, but because those people are tough as hell. But it's fun to watch. I think I would be okay at it. But the men are kind of tough too. I don't know, man. Maybe I also like to play ping pong, but they're really, really good at ping pong. So. And then recently I started swimming in my backyard pool. So I don't know, man. I got a lot of options out there, Mike.
You got the Phelps effect going on, man. Hey, you may be Ron Lochte as well, man. Well, overall, I got to ask you the question, man. What do you think of the whole Lochte situation? And if he's lying about this, what do you think should happen to him?
Why is my question. Why would you do something like this? If it's true, it's all hearsay right now, or being more proven positive right now, or more true right now as time goes on. But I don't see why you would do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. So you're done with your Olympics. You won a gold medal. You won a couple other medals, I think. So I just don't get the reason why you would do it. It doesn't make sense to me. And if it's true, I think he needs to go back to Brazil and pay the price for what he's done.
Well, the reason that he's lying. He's not.
If it happened in the U.S. And someone left our country and had done that, they'd probably track him down. So why not do it to him if it's true?
Right. I don't think they're not going to extradite him. They're going to not bring him back to Brazil or whatever. They already kind of talked about that. But he's not that smart.
All his teammates are there anyway. So what's the matter? They got 3 out of the 4 anyway, which is not really fair to me. They got 3 other guys, and I guess from what everyone says, he's the one who fabricated the story.
And would you snitch? I mean, I know you like your teammates or whatever, but would you snitch? Would you tell?
I'd have a hard time selling somebody out in that situation, I think.
Even if you were the one that's being detained and Ryan Lochte's in the United States safe somewhere, in a safe house.
Yeah, I mean, they still have no proof that it was the truth.
Well, apparently they got some video that came out, and now apparently some of the swimmers caved in or whatnot, according to reports, and basically saying that Lochte fabricated the story.
Hey man, yeah, I would have a hard time giving up a teammate if that's I mean, first of all, I wouldn't put myself in that situation, Mike.
Right.
I wouldn't put myself in that situation, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. But it'd be really hard to sell out somebody. I know that much.
So you wouldn't put yourself in that situation, but you've never fabricated a story. You've never told a lie that kind of got out of control. Something that was
hell yeah. Who hasn't?
Oh, can you give us one?
Oh man, of course when we're kids we do it all the time. You know, I'm sure there were some times maybe in the NFL when we may have done some things we shouldn't have done in a meeting room or at practice that we wasn't on film that we may have gotten away with.
Okay, one story, B. One story. Give us one story.
Mike, I have no idea. I mean, we've broken lamps in the locker room, but it wasn't our fault. We've broken stuff in the training room, but it wasn't us. You know, there's all kinds of things that we've gotten away with there that really was not us, if you know what I mean.
Well, now you got a disguise, B. Now, like, do people recognize you with hair?
You know what? It's so funny when I don't wear a hat. The double takes I get is phenomenal, and I kind of like it, you know, because people don't recognize me. And I grew a beard too, which is a little different. Yeah, my wife likes it, so I'm good to go. But yeah, it's just now when I see a picture of me without hair, it looks weird to me. I'm so used to seeing myself with hair now that when I see myself without it, it's just it's weird looking to me. Dude,
you look good, man. You look good without hair.
Appreciate it.
And you know what? Yeah. You've always been one of the kindest, one of the best guys I've met on or off the field, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you hanging out with me today too.
I had a great time with you with Fox today. That was a good time. Just the travel got to me, man.
Yeah,
I know how those guys do it.
Hey, man, enjoy retirement, man. Stay out of trouble.
Thanks, Mike.
Don't lie.
Appreciate it, man.
Okay, bro. Brian Urlacher, former Bears linebacker, with us here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.